Hello, this is Julian with Coffee Reviews, and today we'll be reviewing the Gamatui Natural Processed Uganda from Black and White Coffee Roasters. And there's the bag right there. And Black and White, based out of Wake Forest, North Carolina. And this coffee right here was featured in our most recent blind taste test rankings video, where it did finish first place out of 3 coffees from the Gamatui processing set. The reason it finished first place on that day was that this was the fruitiest cup of coffee on that table. We were mostly able to pick it out through process of elimination, as the anaerobic was pretty alcohol forward and the hydro washed was a little smoky on that first day, so just basically process of elimination. Don't have too much to discuss about Black and White, as we've featured them on the channel quite a bit. We'll just start discussing this coffee. This right here is day 18 of this coffee. And recipe we had for this coffee was our standard Black and White recipe, which is 16.67 to 1 water to coffee ratio, 205 degrees Fahrenheit, brewed through the Chemex, of course. Really liked it this way from the start. And they describe it on their bag as a light medium for the roast profile, and it's definitely light medium American. Can 100% agree with that. So with that out of the way, we can start discussing the coffee itself. Day 6, which was our first impression, that blind taste test rankings day, and we noted a slight bit of fleshy fruits and some berries that really made this coffee kind of stand out early. We mentioned that they were tamer fruits, but at the same time it was quite pleasant, so we were really enjoying this cup of coffee based off of our first experience. Day 7, trying this cup of coffee on its own, and yeah, we had an even more positive impression as on its own. This one had a very lively fruit flavor to it, kind of a standout. And one thing we really wanted to note was there was both a kind of banana aroma that was coming from this coffee, as well as this nice banana flavor that was coming from the coffee. And they don't really mention a lot of these tropicals because we got so many tropicals. We'll expand on that a little bit later in this video. But banana was one of those really nice tropicals we got that they don't really list on their bag or on their website, so it was one of those additional flavors that was very nice and enjoyable in this cup of coffee. And it settled down into everything from darker berries to lighter fleshy fruits, just overall a very delightful cup of coffee. Day 9, aroma and taste of this coffee is often akin to what we describe as banana runts. And here's the banana flavoring that we're mentioning in this. It's kind of more of an artificial banana as opposed to like an actual banana itself. And the best way we can describe this flavoring is we mentioned that the one spirit we have at least a little bit of familiarity with is rum, and it doesn't taste alcoholic, but it kind of tastes like the banana flavoring you get from Jamaican rums. So we don't have a lot of coffees that taste like banana, but we felt that this one was probably one of the most banana tasting coffees we had ever had, which made it a nice little standout, as that's kind of a rarer thing to get from coffee. At times we could describe it from everything as a chocolate covered banana to a strawberry banana milkshake with a little bit of chocolate. Lively and fruity cup of coffee overall. Very enjoyable on this day as well. Day 10, continue to see the coffee improving. Still getting a lot of those tropical fruits as well as berries, but now we're getting some grape underneath this cup of coffee, which made it even more enjoyable, getting a lot of diversity in these fruits. Day 12, consistent cup of coffee still to this point. The unique banana flavoring died down ever so slightly, and the grape was becoming a little bit more prominent to complement what was becoming an even more prominent chocolate in this cup as well. Day 13, rich chocolate cup of coffee with a fair bit of the berry flavoring to complement it, and there was some notable grape candy as well as the strawberry banana component we had mentioned earlier on. A lot of fruitiness in this cup of coffee. As the temperature changes, you're getting different fruits, makes it very enjoyable. Day 15, another nice day for the cup of coffee, as it still has that kind of fun banana runts flavor in the cup of coffee, cooling down nicely into a really pleasant stone fruit, fruity and chocolatey overall, enjoyable. Day 17, which we didn't write our notes on, but I remember there was a little bit of a coconut flavor. So we mentioned that they probably could have put a generic tropical fruits on here and it would have worked, because you got banana, you got pineapple, and we were even getting coconut, which can be kind of an umbrella term overall for these tropical fruits. And we were getting all 3 of those if we're being a little bit more specific as to what this tropical fruit flavoring we were getting from this coffee was. And that just makes it even better, considering that there were definitely a fair bit of stone fruits, definitely a fair bit of berries, most specifically that's grape. So lots of fruits in this cup of coffee. All right, let's go ahead and put up the tasting wheel so you can see what we're getting. And really fun fact about this tasting wheel, I think we made the tasting wheel on day 12 or day 10, and we made the tasting wheel again yesterday and didn't realize that we had made the tasting wheel before, and the tasting wheel looked exactly the same. So consistency in this cup of coffee from the entire time that we'd been drinking this cup of coffee. We just found that really funny and was worth noting. But of course, the things that will jump out, the sweetness at level 4. Let's see, a berry fruit, of course, at level 4. Mentioned it's very berry coffee. Stone fruit level 3, citrus fruit. Correction, stone fruit level 4, citrus fruit level 3, chocolate level 4. So, I mean, it has to be an overly ridiculous amount of berries or overly ridiculous amount of chocolate to put it at level 5, because we've had a lot of coffees that are like that. So putting it at level 4, the berry fruit probably could have been a 4.5. It's much more prominent than the stone fruit in our minds, but the stone fruit definitely at least deserves a level 3. Citrus fruit we could have bumped up to that level 4, but it wasn't quite as prominent as the stone fruits or as the berry fruits. Acidity level 3, slight bit of florals, medium cleanliness, medium body, medium finish. For the most part, the only things that are really worth noting is the high levels of fruits in this cup of coffee, the high level of chocolate, and the high sweetness, just making this cup of coffee overall quite enjoyable. All right, our overall thoughts and impressions of this coffee. And we mentioned in the Hydro Wash that we weren't quite sold on which one of these two coffees was our favorite from this processing set. And after finishing this bag of coffee, we are still not sure. Because I think it does come down to what you enjoy more. If you enjoy washed African coffees more, then the hydro washed was better for certain days, and if you enjoy natural coffees more, then the natural coffee was definitely better on certain days. And that's the thing, as somebody that drinks a ridiculous amount of coffee, I'm in the mood for natural certain days, I'm in the mood for washed certain days, and they both had amazing characteristics to them. So honestly, I don't know which one I liked more. They were both really high quality cups of coffee, definitely both more enjoyable than the anaerobic. If you said I could only have one of these bags of coffee, I'd probably go with the Hydro Wash just because it's a little bit more fun and unique, but they both are pretty unique cups of coffee, both very good cups of coffee, and I enjoyed both of them very much. The type of person I would suggest this coffee to is somebody that does like the tropical fruit flavors. I know they don't emphasize that enough in my opinion on this cup of coffee. I think they're underselling how good this one is relative to the other coffees that came in this processing set, as I think this one is every bit as good as the other one, and at times is even better, and there's even more diversity, uniqueness in this cup. So that's the type of person I would suggest this coffee to. Tropicals and chocolate, those are two of the most prominent things you're going to be getting from this cup of coffee. Yeah, very enjoyable. Black and white left a very good impression. If I had to say one thing about this, I would think that this coffee is actually slightly better done than the hydro washed, and that probably has to do with the fact that I assume the farm's been doing naturals for a very long time, and the hydro washed is brand new, and they'll work out the kinks, and I'm sure maybe in a couple years that coffee will be better than the naturals that they're putting out. But I think I'm going to leave it at that, actually. So if you have by chance tried any of these coffees from the processing set, I would love to know your thoughts and opinions of them, as well as black and white. If you're enjoying the content, give this video a like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. But this right here has been a review of the Gamatui Natural Processed Uganda from Black and White Coffee Roasters. Thank you for watching.